or can everybody hear me okay? I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to this public hearing. It's a joint public hearing of the West Virginia State Senate and House Joint Committee on Redistricting. And we're excited to be here in Raleigh County in Beckley. And I want to thank everybody for their work in helping put this together and the hospitality we've already received. I'm Charles Trump. I'm the Senate Chair of the Joint Committee on Redistricting. And I'm going to introduce for everyone who's here the other senators who are here tonight. Some members of the committee, some not. But I want everybody to know who they are and who's here. So we'll start with, let's see, we have Senator Mike Caputo is here. Mike, raise your hand. Senator Caputo has traveled here from Fairmont, from Marion County, and he is a member of the Senate Committee on Redistricting, as is Senator Glenn Jeffries. And there's Glenn. Glenn, raise your hand. Glenn is, Senator Jeffries is from Putnam County. And we were in Putnam County last week at Winfield. Senator Jeffries is on the committee, as is Senator Rupi Phillips. I saw Rupi. There's Rupi. Rupi, you got your hand up. Rupi is from Logan County. Senator Phillips from Logan County, where we had a redistricting public hearing last week. And let's see. Next, I think we have Senator Tarr is here. Eric's sitting in the back. Eric is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance and has driven down from Putnam County to join us tonight. To my immediate right is Senator Ron Weld from Brooke County, and Senator Weld is the vice chair of the Judiciary Committee. And then to the far left is, he's not really a far left guy either. To my far left is a member of the committee, Senator Mike Woelfel from Cabell County. Mike has, Senator Woelfel's driven over from Huntington today to join us. And we have at least with us tonight one of our host senators. And I see him, he's near the podium, which is good, but Senator Roland Roberts. And we are in the Senate District, which Senator Roberts and Senator Stover both represent. And here comes the other host senator walking into the room, right on cue. Boy, you couldn't time it any better than that. Senator Buck Stover from Wyoming County. But right now, this where we are is in the Senate District that's represented by both of these gentlemen. And I'll invite both of you, if you'd like to just say some welcoming remarks. Senator Roberts, you get to go first.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome to Raleigh County, the heart of the southern half of southern West Virginia. And we are in the hub here and have a lot of things going on very good. There's been a lot of things that happened in the last redistricting, and we look forward to being able to look at some of those things. I will mention to those folks that are around here in the local area that I will be hosting another joint legislative committee town hall this Monday night. It'll be at Woodrow Wilson Cafeteria. Had to get the place where it would handle enough people. And it'll be from 5:30 to 7:30. And it's dealing with the HCR 103 study, dealing with education. The topic is all of K through 12 education, and other counties are certainly invited to be a part of it. We'll be announcing all of those to all of those folks also for the area counties. But this is a joint bipartisan effort to look at the West Virginia Education Code. That has not happened in 90 years. It has grown to over 800 pages now. And lots of opinions that are floating around on maybe how we can improve that, maybe trim it down some. I'm not sure how that's all going to happen in the final analysis, but I would invite you to be at Woodrow Wilson also for another joint legislative committee meeting this coming Monday evening, 5:30 to 7:30. We certainly would be privileged to have you, and we welcome each one of you to Raleigh County.
Senator Roberts, thank you for that welcome. And I think I can speak for all of us up here who say we're delighted to be here. This is just wonderful. Everybody's been wonderful so far and beautiful. And now we'll let Senator Stover give us a welcome or some remarks if he would like to do that. Bugs, great to see you tonight.
And always good to see you, sir. Forgive my appearance. Anyway, I'm coming over a sickness I'm just getting over. I probably wasn't coming. I decided to come at the last minute. Got a text from Senator Trump, and I said, I'm already driving, so here I am. Welcome to Raleigh County in the 9th District. Welcome to Redistricting. And I'm sure that when all this is through, we will all take a look at what we have done in the legislature, all of us, all of our citizens, everyone, and say, we did it right. 10 years ago, I walked to Charleston. I didn't think we had done it right then. Kind of breaking, I remember Raleigh County, it looked like they broke them into 47 different delegate districts. Couldn't figure out how that was right. Anyway, I walked down there, didn't influence it much, but we can all do it this time. So, and you'll see these folks up here, distinguished, smart. They'll take a good hard look at this. They know the numbers now. They know how important it is to try to keep as close as possible to the concept that if you're in a county or an area where you live, that you will actually know the person that represents you, that you'll run into them at church or at the grocery store, and attend all these you can if you want to. Push folks to do the way you want it to be done. There will be a lot of opinions on that. That's the glory of democracy right here in America. Thank you all.
Senator Stover, thank you.
Yes,
now I'm going to turn the microphone over to my esteemed colleague in the legislature, Delegate Kessinger, who's going to introduce the delegates, both who are serving on the committee and who also are present, notwithstanding that they're not on the committee.
All right, thank you, Senator Trump, and thank you all for being here. It's so great to see so many faces from Fayette, Raleigh County, Southern West Virginia. I'm really happy that events are back, and so we're super excited that you guys are here this evening. But I do just want to take a couple minutes to introduce you to some of my colleagues who have taken time out of their schedules to be here this evening. Of course, we have in the back a colleague from my district, Delegate Haynes. Wave his hand. We have Delegate Bates. To my left, Delegate Steele, Delegate Gearhart, Delegate Smith, Delegate Riley, Delegate Householder, and Delegate Tony. And so we're so thankful that you guys have taken time out of your schedule to be here and to hear from our constituents. And we are really looking forward to hearing from each of you this evening. Now, I do want to take a few minutes to briefly go over the ground rules and procedures for tonight so everything can run as smoothly as possible. As I mentioned, this is a public hearing on redistricting. The purpose of this hearing and other such hearings that are being conducted around the state of West Virginia is for you to share with members of the House of Delegates and the West Virginia Senate your views, opinions, and ideas about redistricting. We are eager to hear your views, opinions, and ideas, and you are welcome to comment and share opinions upon Senate districts, House delegate districts, and congressional districts. We will be applying House Rule 84, which is used to govern public hearings in the House of Delegates during the legislative session. Pursuant to House Rule 84, members will not be permitted to respond to questions during the public hearing. As you may know, the United States Census Bureau has not yet delivered the actual census data from the 2020 census to the states. Normally, the United States Census Bureau delivers the data to the states in April of the year following a census. We are way beyond April, and we have not received the census data yet from the Census Bureau. The best information that we have at this point is that the Census Bureau will formally be delivering the data to the 50 states on September 30th. We are hoping that we will have access to census data sooner than that, but when we receive it, it is beyond our control. Therefore, the committee will not be presenting or discussing any proposed maps. However, even though we do not have the data which the legislature must use to draw new district maps for the state Senate districts, House of Delegates districts, and congressional districts, we felt that it is important to start holding public hearings so that you, the citizens of West Virginia, will have a full opportunity to make whatever comments that you wish to make and to share with us your views, thoughts, and ideas. We are here tonight to hear from you, and we are grateful for your attendance here and for your input. If you would like to submit any suggestions or proposed maps to the Joint Redistricting Committee, please follow the directions in the brochure you were given at the door. If you did not grab one of those, you can pick those up on your way out. We will give each person 5 minutes to speak. When the red light comes on, that means you have reached your time limit and will need to conclude your remarks. With that, I'd like to welcome our first speaker, who will be Melvin Young from Monroe County, followed by Teresa Dennison from Raleigh County. If you are next up to speak, please make your way up toward the front to keep things moving. After this list is exhausted, if anyone came in after the sign-ins were closed and would like to speak, please come forward and give us your name, and you will have 5 minutes to address the committee. All right, Melvin?
Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know that from being a public official, and I'm a newly elected county commissioner in Monroe County, excited. I tell you what, I haven't been so excited about anything in my life. I've been in the construction business for 30 years. I've been blessed. I raised my kids by myself, but being a commissioner and listening to people is a big part of it. And you're away from your family a lot. And for that, I understand and I appreciate your commitment to being here tonight and your time away from your family. And that's one of my reasons, and the senator mentioned one thing just a minute ago. When you are in Monroe County is represented by 4 delegates, and family is a big thing. You know the heartbeat of your family. You understand what's going on. As a commissioner, I know what's going on in Monroe County. I've got that ear. I call it's an ear to listen to what's going on. And as far as Monroe County goes right now at the present time, we've been without a courtroom for 3 years. And it's a very tough thing because there's no money in Monroe County to amount to anything, $3.6 million budget. And what we need is somebody that I can, as a commissioner, go to one person and say, listen, this is the issues that I have. Can you help me out? Who do we need to talk to? Because when you're dealing with a courtroom that has been basically demolished and we're paying a jail bill for 3 years, we've got people in the jail and everybody knows what the jail bill is. We did a budget. It's kicked up $5 more a month. You think that's not much? It is on the jail bill for a county that is having a tough time financially. So when you do the courtroom, you have to go to the Americans with Disability Act so you can meet their standards. You have to do the Supreme Court so you can meet their standards for safety for the judge. And it would be so nice to have somebody that, I mean, we have them in Monroe County. Don't get me wrong, they've done a great job. But it goes back to family. If you know the person that is elected and you see them at church, you see them in the store, you see them out, and you guys know what's going to the stores like in your local communities, and it's fun. My wife wants to leave me at the store a lot of times and just go home, but we really need that single member down there in Monroe County, and it's a very diverse county. It's a very isolated county. It's a very beautiful county, and people are moving to Monroe right now. I just talked to someone from California. They're coming in, and that's probably the way it is over the whole state. So we have to be prepared for what's going to happen. And one of the things the person from California asked me about is your representation with the government, and she's used to California. So she was impressed the way that I told her, and immediately they bought the place. And they're coming here. They're coming from all over the country, literally, to Monroe County right now. And it's a jewel. I know someone said something about Raleigh, but I'm telling you what, Monroe County is a precious county, and I love it. And so if you can just give us some consideration, by the way, in school I missed that one class I had on public speaking, so I don't know the public speaking side of it, but if you can give us some serious consideration on if we could just have one delegate from Monroe County, and it would be so greatly appreciated. And again, thank you for your time away from your families. It's precious time. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Melvin. Next we have Teresa Dennison, followed by Dave Tolliver.
Hi, Teresa Dennison. I live in Raleigh County. I just want to say thank y'all for taking time from your busy lives to come down here and listen to us. I've been learning about this, and I watched the Putnam County meeting that was online, and I saw that some of their concerns were similar to ours as far as when, in my opinion, when 10 years ago when some of these maps were drawn, that the state was overwhelmingly Democrat controlled, and now we've turned, and so I'm hoping that when you guys redraw the maps, that you take that into consideration, because I'm in District 32 in the House, and it's that little wonky one that has all the counties in it, and so I'm, right on the border of Fayette. And then also I'm wondering, I know that you don't have any drafts yet, but when you do have proposed drafts, will we be able to make comments on those publicly? Or I don't mean to ask you questions, I'm hoping that we can comment on the drafts. And then I'm wondering, will there be like a lot of private conversations when you're trying to hash all this out, considering individual delegates or members that, you're trying to draw lines around? I'm not trying to accuse anybody of gerrymandering, but just trying to bring it to the surface, so that we're just, cognizant of that. And then as you draw the maps, I'm hoping that you can explain why the districts were the way they were, because I know some neighborhoods are cut apart, and just wondering if, there'll be like sensible reasons, I'm hoping, and I don't mean to sound accusatory at all, but we're just wanting compact, representation, and I appreciate your time, and thank you.
Teresa, thank you. And although you raise a number of good points, and I don't mind to try to answer some procedural questions. One of them's really good, and I know the answer to it. I hope everybody here got to pick up one of these brochures. They were out there on the table as people came in, but it has on it the internet address for the legislature's redistricting website. And one of the things that we're going to do this year, that the Joint Redistricting Committee is going to do, and I don't think this has ever been done before, but we're inviting people all over West Virginia, if you have the desire to do so, to submit your own comments and your own maps. And if you submit a map to us, it could be of an individual area, maybe a single or a couple delegate districts, or, if you want to draw a map for the whole state, that's okay too. We're going to post them. We're going to post them all on the website and make them available, not just for legislators, but for all the public to look at and comment upon. I think we're all committed, bipartisanly and across both houses, to have this process be more open and transparent than it's ever been before. And I know that Chairman Howe of the House, I talked to him about that, and I think we all feel that way. And we'll have, there's an email address here too, where people who maybe weren't able to make it to a public hearing, but have comments they want to make or want to make the legislature aware of, they can submit emails, and just so everybody knows, these public hearings we're having all around the state. You see a camera back here. It's being videoed. It's going to be archived. Obviously, all members of the legislature could not make it here. It can't make it to every one of these hearings, but we're going to have video and audio available for every member of the House of Delegates, every member of the Senate, so they can listen to your comments and those we got in Logan last week, in Winfield, and everywhere else we go. And so I think we all feel that's really important, and that's why we're here. We want to hear from you. So with that, if you didn't get one of these when you came in, please do, and just note on it that it gives you the mechanism to submit information or ideas that you may have regarding what districts should look like. That's State House of Delegates districts, State Senate districts, and congressional districts. So I'm sorry for that interruption, but your question was good, and it was, I don't know the answers to many questions, but I did know the answer to that one.
Thank you, Senator Trump. And then the last person that signed up to speak today is Dave Tolliver. But as I said earlier, if you came in after the sign-ups and you would like to make your voice heard, you can actually go ahead and make your way to the microphone in preparation for after Mr. Tolliver finishes his remarks. So, Mr. Tolliver?
Thank you. I'm Dave Tolliver, Raleigh County Commission, and I also want to welcome you to Raleigh County. I realize, you got a very difficult job to do. It's redistricting a state, but all we're asking for is use common sense. I mean, common sense goes a long way. As you probably know, last time it was redistricted, Raleigh County was chopped up like sauerkraut. I mean, we have 11 or 12 delegates that represent all or part of Raleigh County, and that doesn't make a bit of sense. We had to spend over $450,000 in buying voting machines because we had so many delegates in Mercer, Summers, Fayette, Wyoming County that it cost us $450,000. So what we're asking you to do is just use some common sense. It's ridiculous for one county to be represented by 12 different delegates. So please, that's the only thing I've got to say is just use common sense and think about the county and the county commissioners. If you chop us up again, who knows how much more money we're going to have to spend. We could not get no help from the state, Secretary of State, when the redistricting was done was last time. So again, I want to emphasize, use common sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tolliver. And if nobody else has any comments, I do want to thank each of you for coming. Yes.
Just briefly, sorry, I didn't realize it was that short of a line.
Speech, sure. If you want to go ahead and announce your name and what county you're from.
I'm Sam Petzonk, and I'm from Fayette County, but I work in Beckley, and I received a lot of comments about this meeting from voters around. I certainly support everything that Commissioner Tolliver said, and certainly what Senator Stover said, and there's a lot of good common sense coming into this. One set of comments that affects our region, and although I don't reside in the city of Beckley, this is a comment that made a lot of sense to me, and I think it's maybe a real opportunity for the redistricting group to put a real feather in your hat. And it pertains to the city of Beckley. The city of Beckley is almost a perfect circle. The city of Beckley has about, I just double checked, I think it's about 16,500 residents. They have a lot in common. They've not really shared representation, and they have common needs, and the city of Beckley represents a lot of important economic value to our region. So even though I don't reside in that city, I work there, I rely on it, and I've had a number of folks who are Beckley residents to ask, please take a very close look. And it's hard not to justify a district that represents about 17,000 folks in the perfect circle, which makes up the city of Beckley. And there may be a reason out there not to make such a district, but it's eluded a lot of people that have looked at it. And so I would commend that. It seemed to, that's not my common sense, that's common sense from other folks that have passed it along, and I thought for the good of the order, it'd be an opportunity, I think, to leave a legacy with this redistricting that's really consistent with the values that, that Mr. Trump and others have shared. I really appreciate the spirit in which you all are approaching this, and I thank you for the time.
Absolutely. thank you, or is there anyone else that would like to make any comments this evening? Okay, if not, we do really want to just thank you each for coming out, and actually, I'm sure you said no to a lot of things to say yes to being here this evening, and so we're very thankful for your interest and your input, as well as your participation. And so I want to remind you that if any of you have any additional suggestions, comments, or feedback about specific districts, you may submit them using the directions provided in the brochure. And again, if you did not pick up a brochure, please make sure you get one of those on your way out. You can just pick it up from the table before you leave. So thank you so much. And if there's nothing else, I guess this meeting is adjourned.